Ladies and gentlemen, every person here today carries within them a vision, a dream, a goal, a desire to grow. Yet so often that vision remains only in the mind. We think about it, we talk about it, but we struggle to bring it into reality. Why is that? Because between where you stand and where you wish to be, there is always a path. And that path requires clarity, discipline, and inner strength. This evening, I want to share with you not just the idea of achieving goals, but the way of approaching life so that any goal you set becomes possible. Because the truth is simple, the same principles that allow a seed to break through the ground and become a tree are the same principles that allow you to transform an idea into reality. Let us walk through them together. The clarity of intention is the first and most important step when it comes to achieving any goal in life. Many people underestimate its power, believing that motivation alone is enough to push them forward. But motivation without direction is like running fast in the wrong direction. It creates movement, but not progress. When your intention is not clear, your energy is scattered, your decisions are uncertain, and your path becomes filled with hesitation. But when your intention is sharp and precise, it becomes like an arrow. You know exactly where it is going, and every action you take has meaning. Clarity does not come by accident. It requires that you take the time to sit with yourself, to ask the difficult questions. What do I truly want? Why do I want it? Is this desire born from comparison and the opinions of others, or is it coming from the deepest part of my own being? Most people skip this stage. They chase after goals because society tells them those are worthy, or because they see others doing the same. But the goals that are not truly yours will never give you fulfillment, even if you achieve them. Clarity of intention means stripping away what is not yours and listening closely to the voice within. Once you know what you want, the next step is to define it with precision. To say, I want to be successful, is not clear. Success has many forms, and without definition it remains a vague dream. A clear intention might sound like, I want to build a business that gives me financial freedom and allows me to help others. Or it might be, I want to run a marathon within the next year. These are specific, measurable, and tangible. They transform a dream into a direction. This level of clarity allows your mind to focus, because the mind cannot chase shadows. It needs a target. With clarity also comes the power of choice. Life is full of distractions and endless possibilities. Without clarity, you say yes to everything and spread yourself thin. But when your intention is clear, you gain the ability to say no to what does not serve you. Each time you refuse a distraction, you are sharpening your path. Each time you align your energy with what truly matters, you are accelerating your progress. This power of saying no is often overlooked, yet it is one of the strongest expressions of clarity. Clarity also removes fear. Most fear arises from uncertainty. When you don't know what you want, you don't know what steps to take, and you fear making mistakes. But once you know your destination, mistakes no longer paralyze you. They simply become adjustments along the way, corrections on your journey. Fear loses its strength when your vision is stronger than your doubts. The clarity of intention acts like a compass in the storm. It does not remove the storm, but it gives you a way to navigate through it. In daily life, cultivating clarity is not something you do once, it is something you refine constantly. Your mind will always be tempted to wander. Old habits and outside influences will try to pull you away. That is why practices like journaling, meditation, or quiet reflection are so valuable. They help you return again and again to the essence of your intention. Just as a blade must be sharpened regularly to remain effective, your clarity must be revisited often to stay strong. When clarity of intention is fully present, you no longer waste energy. You no longer drift between decisions. You move with purpose, and even the smallest steps feel meaningful. It does not mean the path will be easy, but it does mean you will walk it with confidence. And in the end, this clarity becomes the foundation for all the other principles: discipline, resilience, adaptability, alignment. Without clarity, they collapse. With clarity, they flourish. Discipline of action is the bridge that connects your intentions to your results. Many people have clarity about what they want, but they fail to take consistent steps toward it. They wait for the right mood, the perfect circumstances, or bursts of motivation to push them forward. The truth is that waiting for motivation is unreliable. Motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes. Discipline, however, is like the ground beneath your feet. It is steady, dependable, and always there if you commit to it. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you do not feel like it. And this is what transforms goals from distant dreams into lived realities. Discipline is not about forcing yourself harshly or punishing yourself for failures. It is about training the mind and body to act in alignment with your vision. Imagine a river carving its way through stone. It is not one great force that creates the path, but the persistence of countless drops flowing day after day. Discipline works in the same way. It is the power of small, repeated actions that accumulate over time and create results that seem impossible when viewed in a single moment. Without this repetition, even the clearest goal will remain an empty vision. The greatest challenge for most people is consistency. At the beginning of any journey, energy is high. The excitement of starting something new makes it easy to act, but after a few days or weeks, the energy fades. The results are not immediate, progress feels slow, and the mind begins to create excuses. This is the critical moment where discipline must replace excitement. Discipline does not ask, "Do I feel like it today?" It simply reminds you of your commitment and moves forward regardless of mood. Those who master this ability rise above the temporary fluctuations of motivation and create lasting change. Another important aspect of discipline is structure. Without a structure, the mind is prone to wander. Creating routines, habits, and systems provides a framework that supports your goals. For example, if your goal is physical health, scheduling a fixed time each day for exercise builds discipline into your life. If your goal is learning a new skill, dedicating a set number of minutes daily to practice ensures steady progress. These structures remove the burden of constant decision making and turn your desired actions into natural parts of your day. Over time, what was once difficult becomes effortless because discipline turns effort into habit. Discipline also teaches you patience. In a world where instant gratification dominates, it is easy to abandon long-term goals when results do not appear quickly. Discipline reminds you that great things take time. A tree does not grow to its full height in a single season. The seed must first break the soil, the roots must deepen, and only then can the trunk rise. In the same way, your daily disciplined actions are like watering the seed. You may not see results immediately, but trust that every drop counts. Discipline is the faith that your effort is never wasted. At the same time, discipline does not mean rigidity. It is not about pushing yourself until you break. True discipline includes balance. It recognizes the importance of rest, recovery, and reflection. A disciplined person knows when to act with full intensity and when to step back to regain strength. This balance ensures sustainability so that your actions are not a short burst of effort, but a lifelong practice of steady growth. When you cultivate discipline of action, you discover that your goals are no longer overwhelming. A mountain may seem impossible to climb when you look at the peak, But discipline teaches you to focus on the single step in front of you. Step after step, day after day, you rise higher. Eventually, without realizing it, you find yourself standing on the summit. And at that moment, you understand that it was not one massive effort that brought you there, but the discipline of countless small actions that never stopped. Resilience in struggle is what separates those who give up from those who reach their goals. No matter how clear your intention is and how disciplined your actions are, life will test you. There will be days when nothing goes as planned, when obstacles seem insurmountable, and when doubt whispers that perhaps your dream is too far away. In these moments, resilience becomes your greatest ally. It is the ability to endure hardship without breaking, to continue moving forward despite pain, failure, or delay. Resilience is not about avoiding struggle, it is about embracing it as an inevitable part of growth. Every meaningful journey involves resistance. Just as muscles grow stronger only by pushing against weight, your inner strength is built by overcoming challenges. Without resistance, there is no development. Many people believe that if they face difficulties, it must mean they are on the wrong path. But the opposite is true. Struggles are not signs to quit. They are signs that you are moving beyond your comfort zone. Each obstacle is like a gatekeeper, testing how much you truly want what you are aiming for. If your desire is weak, the gate will stop you. If your desire is strong, resilience will help you push through. Resilience requires a shift in perspective. Most people see struggle as punishment, but those who succeed see it as training. Every setback teaches you something: patience, humility, adaptability, or persistence. When you fail, it is not the end of the journey, it is a lesson disguised as pain. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" resilience teaches you to ask, "What is this teaching me?" With this mindset, even the hardest moments become opportunities for growth. The storm that once seemed to destroy you is the same storm that shapes you into someone stronger. To develop resilience, you must first accept that struggle is natural. Expecting the path to be smooth only leads to frustration. If you know in advance that difficulties will come, you meet them with calmness instead of shock. This acceptance is not defeat, it is wisdom. It allows you to conserve your energy for solving the problem rather than wasting it on complaining. A resilient person does not deny pain, they acknowledge it, feel it, and keep moving forward regardless. Resilience also comes from remembering your why. When challenges arise, your reason for starting becomes the fuel that keeps you going. If your goal is shallow or borrowed from others, the struggle will crush you. But if your goal is rooted deeply in your heart, you will find the strength to endure. Every obstacle will remind you of the importance of your mission. The stronger your why, the greater your resilience. Another aspect of resilience is adaptability. Not every path to your goal will work, and that is normal. Sometimes you must change your approach, adjust your strategy, or take a detour. Resilience does not mean stubbornly doing the same thing until exhaustion. It means staying committed to the destination while being flexible about the road. Water flowing around rocks does not stop its journey to the ocean. It simply finds another way forward. In the same way, resilience gives you the creativity to navigate around obstacles without losing sight of your vision. Finally, resilience is strengthened by gratitude. When you face struggles, it is easy to focus only on what is going wrong. But if you look closely, there are always things to be grateful for: the progress you have already made, the lessons you have learned, the support you have received. Gratitude does not erase pain, but it gives you perspective. It reminds you that struggle is only one part of the journey, not the whole story. with gratitude, your heart remains open even in hardship, and that openness gives you the strength to keep going. Resilience in struggle ensures that no obstacle becomes permanent. It allows you to rise after every fall, to rebuild after every failure, and to continue walking when others have stopped. When you cultivate resilience, you realize that struggles are not barriers, stepping stones. Each one you overcome makes you more prepared, more capable, and more unshakable. And in the end, it is not the absence of struggle that defines success, but the presence of resilience that carries you through it. Adaptability of mind is one of the greatest skills a person can develop in the pursuit of any goal. Life is in constant motion, and no matter how carefully you plan, circumstances will change. Markets shift, people change, unexpected events arise, and what once worked may suddenly become ineffective. Those who cling rigidly to one way of thinking or one method of action quickly find themselves stuck, frustrated, and defeated. But those with adaptable minds bend without breaking, adjust without losing their core vision, and use every change as an opportunity to grow stronger. Adaptability is not weakness. It is a form of wisdom because it allows you to flow with life instead of fighting against it. To be adaptable means to understand that the path to your goal is not a straight line. It is more like a river winding its way around obstacles, sometimes moving quickly, sometimes slowly, but always continuing forward. If you expect your journey to unfold exactly as you imagine, every change will feel like failure. But if you accept from the beginning that change is part of the process, you approach challenges with curiosity instead of despair. An adaptable mind does not say, "Why has this happened to me?" It says, "Given this new reality, how can I move forward?" That shift in thinking transforms problems into possibilities. One of the keys to adaptability is flexibility of perspective. Often, we see things only from one angle and convince ourselves that our way is the only way. But when your perspective is rigid, even small obstacles seem impossible to overcome. Adaptability teaches you to step back, to look from another angle, to ask new questions. Maybe the plan you had was good, but maybe it can be improved. Maybe the obstacle in front of you is not a wall, but a door waiting to be opened differently. When you train your mind to see multiple possibilities, you give yourself more paths to success. Adaptability also requires humility. To adapt means to admit that you do not know everything, that your first plan may not always be the best plan. Many people struggle with this because they confuse adaptability with failure. They believe that changing their approach means they were wrong. But in truth, refusing to adapt is the greater mistake. Life is not about always being right, it is about moving wisely toward your vision. The adaptable person is not afraid to learn, to adjust, and even to start over when necessary. This humility does not weaken them. It makes them resilient and unstoppable. Another aspect of adaptability is emotional balance. When circumstances change, emotions often rise. Fear, anger, disappointment, or frustration. If you let these emotions control you, your decisions will be reactive and short-sighted. Adaptability means staying calm enough to respond rather than react. It means using emotions as signals, not commands. For example, fear may tell you that a new path is uncertain, but an adaptable mind does not allow fear to paralyze it. Instead, it evaluates, learns, and then acts with clarity. This calmness in the midst of change is a hallmark of true adaptability. Adaptability does not mean abandoning your goals. It means being flexible in how you reach them. The vision remains steady, but the road can change. If one strategy fails, try another. If the environment shifts, adjust your pace. Think of a sailor navigating the sea. The destination is fixed, but the winds and waves are never under control. A good sailor does not curse the wind, they adjust their sails. Likewise, an adaptable person does not waste energy wishing life were different. They use what is available, shift when needed, and keep moving toward the goal. Finally, adaptability is strengthened through practice. Just like discipline or resilience, it is not something you master once, it is a mindset you cultivate daily. You can practice adaptability in small ways, trying new approaches to problems, being open to feedback, learning new skills, or challenging old habits of thought. Each time you step out of rigidity, you train your mind to be more fluid. Over time, this becomes natural. You stop resisting change, and instead you begin to welcome it as a chance to grow. When you master adaptability of mind, obstacles lose their power over you. Instead of stopping you, they redirect you. Instead of discouraging you, they challenge you to expand. You become like water, soft yet unstoppable, yielding yet powerful. And just as water shapes valleys and carves mountains over time, your adaptable mind shapes the path to your success. In the end, it is not those who resist change who thrive, but those who embrace it with openness, creativity, and calm determination. Alignment of inner and outer is the final and perhaps most profound element in achieving any goal you set in life. It means bringing your thoughts, your words, and your actions into harmony so that they all move in the same direction. Many people fail to achieve their goals not because they lack intelligence, discipline, or resilience, but because their inner world and outer behavior are not aligned. They think one thing, say another, and do something entirely different. This creates conflict within themselves, drains energy, and slows progress. True power arises when what you believe on the inside matches what you express on the outside. Then your life flows with unity instead of contradiction. When your inner and outer worlds are not aligned, you experience friction. Imagine someone who dreams of health but continues to eat poorly and avoids exercise, or someone who wants to build trust but constantly speaks in ways that create doubt. The intention may be good, but the actions cancel it out. This misalignment leads to frustration and self-doubt because deep inside you know you are not living in accordance with your vision. You may even convince others with your words, but you cannot deceive yourself. A part of you always knows when there is a gap between what you say and what you do. Alignment begins with honesty. You must be willing to look inward and ask, do my daily choices reflect the person I want to become? Am I living in integrity with my goals, or am I living in contradiction? This requires courage because often the truth is uncomfortable, but only when you face it can you begin to correct it. Alignment is not about perfection, it is about sincerity. It is about closing the gap between intention and action little by little until what you do each day mirrors what you truly desire. Another part of alignment is clarity of values. Your goals should not exist in isolation. They must connect with the deeper values that guide your life. For example, if your goal is to achieve financial success, but your values include generosity and service, then your actions must reflect both. If you earn wealth but neglect your values, you will feel empty. But if you pursue wealth in a way that also honors generosity, you will feel fulfilled. Alignment ensures that achieving your goals does not create inner conflict, but instead brings peace and satisfaction. Words also carry great importance in alignment. Too often, people speak carelessly, promising things they do not mean or expressing doubt about their own abilities. Every word is energy, and if your words contradict your thoughts or actions, you scatter your focus. When your words support your vision, they strengthen your belief. Saying, "I am capable of achieving this," reinforces your inner confidence and guides your actions. Saying, "I can't do this," plant seeds of doubt that weaken your resolve. Alignment requires that you choose words consciously so that they support, not sabotage your journey. Consistency is the measure of alignment. Anyone can act in alignment for a day or two, but real transformation happens when this harmony is sustained over time. When your inner vision is reflected in your choices day after day, your life becomes a clear expression of who you are. Others begin to notice the authenticity in you, and they trust you because your actions match your words. More importantly, you begin to trust yourself. You no longer waste energy on inner battles because every part of you is moving in the same direction. Alignment of inner and outer does not mean life will be without difficulty. Challenges will still come, but they will no longer create confusion within you. When your inner beliefs, your spoken words, and your daily actions are unified, even obstacles become easier to face. You know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you know that every step you take is a true reflection of your intention. This inner peace gives you strength that cannot be shaken by outside circumstances. In the end, alignment of inner and outer is what brings fulfillment. Achieving a goal without alignment may give temporary success, but it often leaves a sense of emptiness. Achieving a goal with alignment brings deep satisfaction because you know you reached it without betraying yourself. Your journey becomes meaningful, not just your destination. When your inner world and outer world move as one, you do not merely achieve goals, you live in harmony with your true self. Ladies and gentlemen, we began with the question of how to achieve any goal in life. And what we have discovered together is that the answer is not hidden in secrets or shortcuts, but in timeless principles, clarity of intention, discipline of action, resilience in struggle, adaptability of mind, and the alignment of inner and outer. Each of these is like a piece of armor protecting and guiding you on your path. If you carry clarity, you always know where you are going. If you walk with discipline, you move step by step without stopping. If you embrace resilience, no obstacle can break you. If you cultivate adaptability, you turn change into an ally instead of an enemy. And if you live in alignment, your entire being moves as one force toward your vision. So the message is simple. Do not only dream, live in such a way that your dreams become inevitable. The path will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. And the moment you commit to walking it with these principles, you will discover that there is no goal too distant, no vision too high, and no obstacle too great. Thank you